What's the deal, my people? You know it is Don Tony Teflon, and I'm back at you another one, and this one is... We have seen some great battles on Game of Thrones, but in Game of Thrones Season 8, this battle will be the most epic battle ever produced on television. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen during this battle, no doubt. Now, if you watch and like this video, if you can, please subscribe and help us try to reach that 100,000 subscriber dream. And thumbs up this video so others can also help us reach that dream. Game of Thrones producers recently sent out a thank you notice to the crew for doing all that heavy lifting and putting in all that work on their recent shoot. This is for the Night Dragons, for enduring 55 straight nights, for enduring the cold, the snow, the rain, the mud, the sheep shit of Tomb, and the winds of Magaroon. When tens of millions of people around the world watch this episode a year from now, they won't know how hard you worked. They won't care how tired you were or how tough it is to do your job in sub-freezing temperatures. They'll just understand that they're watching something that's never been done before. That's because of you. Thank you, the producer types. And let me just echo that sentiment. All the people who are behind the scenes, all of us YouTubers, all of us people who watch the show, we appreciate you. We appreciate everything you do. And thank you for putting up what you have to put up with. But you do get paid. Now, in Season 8 of Game of Thrones, Miguel Sapochnik is directing episodes 3 and 5. Now, both of these episodes are directed by D&D. And this is very significant, and I'm going to explain to you why. And what I also want you to keep in mind is the amount of days it took to shoot this latest scene. Now, first, what we have to do is go back to an interview that Miguel Sapochnik did when he talked about the Battle of Bastards. And this interview was done by Entertainment Weekly and posted on entertainmentweekly.com. And it's from this interview that I think that we can see exactly what this battle is going to be. What was the biggest overall challenge about pulling this off? The other real challenge was the schedule. After I read the first outline, we didn't have a script yet, and we went to take a look at the location, a privately owned piece of land called St. Field in the Northern Ireland. The producers asked me to ballpark the number of days I thought it was going to take to shoot. After a few hours and a fair bit of guesswork, we said 28, but they said we had 12. So right here we see Miguel Sapochnik does not have a real script, and Dan and Dave give him what they have, an outline, and he tells them, this what you're giving me right now is going to take 28 days to shoot, but they thought that it was only going to take 12. And we're talking about the Battle of Bastards, so let's continue. Both myself and Charlie, my first assistant director, read the script and got on the phone to discuss a revised number of days, now with the actual script in mind, rather than my estimated number of days coming down, which is what we all had hoped. The number had gone up to 42 days. Eventually, probably a few months later, we ended up with 25 days, including the parlay on the battlefield prior to the actual battle and all the scenes in Winterfell in the aftermath of BOB. Reaching that number was the biggest challenge. So let's break this down in dealing with the Battle of the Bastards. Dan and Dave went to Miguel Sapochnik and said, hey, here's our first outline. We think it's going to take 12 days to shoot. He came back to them and said, no, this is going to take 28. After that, when he got the real script for the Battle of Bastards, he said that this was going to take 42 days to shoot. Now, after going back and forth for a couple of months, they cut out enough stuff to get it down to 25 days. And this battle that they're talking about, they shot that in 55 days. Over double of the Battle of Bastards. And we finally see that D&D got in a lot of the stuff that they probably wanted to get in the Battle of Bastards and couldn't. so we can look into some of that stuff that they wanted to get in and couldn't get in, and see exactly what's going to go down in this battle. Showrunners David Benioff and Dan Weiss has said the team looked to real-life historical battles for staging this. What specific battles or tactics did you draw on? Very much so. We initially based B.O.B. on the Battle of Agincourt, which took place between the French and English in 1415. But as needs changed, as did budgets, it became more like the Battle of Cannes between the Romans and Hannibal in 216 BC. So they wanted to do something else, but had to switch. So what was this Battle of Agincourt? Militarily, the Battle of Agincourt is regarded as the end of medieval warfare. Tactics used in this battle will continue for the next 500 years. King Henry V of England invades with a small army. With casualties, he loses half of this small army. After heading back across the channel to Chile, the French forces catch up with him. The French easily overtake the weakened, starving English army and cuts them off from the north. This left the English army with nowhere to go and winter fastly approaching. The French army at this time has 2,400 cavalry, 7,600 infantry, 4,000 archers, and 1,500 crossbows, while the English have 0 cavalry, 1,000 infantry, 5,000 archers, and 0 crossbows. On a muddy field, flanked by trees on both sides, they prepare for battle. The English then placed all their infantry in the middle and their archers on the wings. They hid archers in the woods on both sides of the field. They placed heavy stakes in front of the archers to funnel any charge to the infantry. The English army then moves up the battlefield and remake their positions. This allows the English longbowmen to reach French troops. The French charge into the arrows, taking heavy damage. After this, the next set of horses refuse to charge. As the men try to turn, they run into their own troops. When the French army finally regroups and tries to advance, they are slowed down by the muddy, worn-out battlefield and are picked off by the archers. Eventually do break the line and they start fighting hand to hand. The English king takes an axe blow to the head during this. After killing all the French generals, the French soldiers start to surrender. The English then execute all French soldiers that have surrendered. At the end, the French lose 8,000 men, while the English only lose 100. Now, I don't think we're going to see this battle verbatim, but I do think we're going to see a lot of aspects from this battle in the Battle of Game of Thrones Season 8. I think what's going to happen is we're going to see the Golden Company charge with their elephants and their horses, and they're going to be the ones to get hit by the arrows and get turned right back into their own men and start scattering. I think we're going to see that, and I also think that we're going to see a charge from the White Walkers on their undead horses at Jon's army. This article is very interesting. I suggest anyone to go check it out. Obviously, the link will be in the description, because the end scene for the Battle of the Bastards was not even supposed to end like that. It only ended that way because they had 3 days of raining and they couldn't do the ending the way they wanted. So that is just a throwaway scene. And when you see Jon reaching for air and coming out of that, that's one of those throwaway scenes that was not intended, but they just had to throw in there because of the scheduling and the shooting. So you tell me what you think in the comment section. And if you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, please spread this across the realm, and please subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.
I'm gonna make him an offer again.
I want him dead. I want his family dead. I want his house burnt to the ground. I want to go to the middle of the night. I want to piss on his head.
What?
I said no more shines. Maybe you didn't hear about it. You've been away a long time. Didn't go up there, tell you. I don't shine shoes anymore.
Relax, will you, for crying out? What's getting to you? I'm breaking your balls a little bit, that's all. I'm only kidding with you.
Sometimes you don't sound like you're kidding. You know, there's a lot of people around.
So say good night to the black guy. Come on. Last time you're gonna see a black guy like this.
I got 2 grenades in my house. I blow up all Mulberry Street before I leave. Honestly, I don't know what I can do this summer. You understand? I die with you.